So you try to decide where to move to, San Diego or Los Angeles. Well, let me tell you this, they both have great benefits and both have some drawbacks. So you should probably know before making that decision and making that big move to one of those areas. And we're gonna get after all that and more right now. Hey, what's up? My name is Emery Jensen with the Living in and Moving to San Diego channel, where we talk about all what it's like to eat, sleep, and breathe here in America's finest city. Now, I know it might sound like a little bit biased because I do live in San Diego, but hopefully I can give you some insight on San Diego and Los Angeles at the same time. That way you can make a better decision. If you have any questions about moving to San Diego or maybe even living here already, shoot me a call, text, or email. We can kind of talk about what it might look like for you and possibly figure out where we can get you at for your situation. You can reach me days, nights, or weekends. I'm always available when you're moving to San Diego. All right, let's get back to it. First thing we're gonna go over is the pros of San Diego. So the pros of living here in San Diego, just to tell you a little bit about where it is. First off, it's very south of California. It's a short drive, depending on where you're at in San Diego, to Tijuana, Mexico. So very good location. Speaking of Mexico, there's actually a lot of people that live in Mexico and they commute all the time from there to work here in San Diego, make some money, and go back to Mexico because it's a little bit cheaper over there. I even know some military people that do it. It's become a new law that has passed in the military, at least, where you're allowed to go to Mexico and make that drive back. So a pretty cool quick tip for you guys. But as far as where San Diego at and with the location, the temperature here in San Diego it holds an average year-round of about 70 degrees all year round. So, of course, if you're living in East County or North County, San Diego, you're gonna get a little bit of a higher fluctuation of temperatures throughout the year. If you're living in central San Diego, close to downtown, close to the beaches, that's not what you'll experience as far as the temperature. It doesn't get too crazy, doesn't get too cold, so it's a pretty nice and neutral location. Not only do we have great weather and great beaches here in San Diego, but also tons of activities. Since we are close to the beach and close to the water, you guessed it, we have tons of water sports that you can do, water activities, kayaking, jet skiing, scuba diving, snorkeling. I'm sure a ton of other things that I probably didn't mention. So lots of stuff to do. If you're getting bored here in San Diego, you're not trying hard enough to have some fun. You got hikes out here. Cowles Mountain's a very famous one. Same with the Potato Chip Rock Mountain, where you can look that up on Google. It's actually, once it gets to the top of that mountain, of that hike, there's a little rock, little cliff that hangs over like this and looks just like a potato chip. Pretty crazy. Not only that though, the nightlife here in San Diego is pretty great as well. Downtown, it has some great spots. Of course, all the beach communities, Pacific Beach, Ocean Beach, Imperial Beach, and Mission Beach as well, all have some great locations where you can go to some clubs, bars, nice sports bars as well. Grab a drink and some nice food too. In addition to all of that, San Diego has a great food and craft beer community. There's tons of food cultures here. Vietnamese, Brazilian, of course Mexican food, American diners as well, all kinds of stuff. I mean, whatever you're looking for to eat here in San Diego, with a quick Google search, you can probably find some kind of restaurant here or food spot, maybe a hole in the wall, where you can find whatever it is you're looking for. As far as the beer scene here, we're known for the West Coast hoppy IPA style. If you're not into IPAs though, that's totally okay. There's tons of breweries here that do stuff like ciders, sours as well, porters, stouts as well. So whatever kind of beer you're into, what kind of drink you're into, I'm sure we have it here. Some of the famous breweries here that we have in San Diego are going to be like Stone Brewing Company, which is in Point Loma. They have a restaurant there. Very good if you have not been there yet. Highly recommend it. Also, Coronado Brewing Company on the island of Coronado, obviously, also has some very great selection of beers, and they have a restaurant in their brewing station as well that you should definitely try out if you have not yet already. Now you're probably wondering, Emery, that's all fine and dandy. Sounds like there's lots of stuff to do in San Diego. You won't really get bored, but how am I gonna make some money? That's a good question. Now, obviously, you can do some normal jobs like grocery stores, restaurants, stuff like that. But if you're looking to get into something bigger than that, you have military here in San Diego. Is one of the biggest employers of San Diego County. There's about 5 to 6 bases here for Marines, as well as Navy. Navy is probably the biggest one that hires people out here. You don't have to be in the military just to get a job with the Department of Defense. You can actually go on as a contractor and then make decent money as well, doing things like the shipyards, repairing some of the ships there, electrical stuff as well. I know lots of people that are contractors on the bases that do a lot of the same things that you would do in the military. They just don't deploy and stuff like that, and they get paid very well with benefits too. Another big hiring industry here in San Diego is going to be the medical industry. There's lots of hospitals here, and UCSD, one of the biggest ones that has, I think they have about 30,000 people that they hire in the hospital of UCSD, which is in La Jolla. So a lot of people that get hired over there. And of course, in a big city like San Diego, there's tons of little big and small, different sized hospitals in the area that you can kind of apply to. Also get a great job that way. One cool thing about San Diego is we're always expanding. We have Qualcomm here. They've been here for quite a while. They hire quite a few people as well, and what they are is a 5G internet company kind of thing for cell phones and stuff like that. And then we also have Apple coming here pretty soon, which is a rumor. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet, but Apple is supposed to be building some kind of building in the Mira Mesa, Sereno Valley area, maybe even Poway. So that's coming here as well. Lots of opportunity. Now, it's not Hollywood, but that's what we have. Finally, and this is just my opinion, as you can tell, I'm a bit biased because I do live in San Diego. I've never really lived in Los Angeles, but I've been there quite a bit. San Diego has I feel like a lot more laid back and chill vibe than Los Angeles does. Now, if I'm wrong, hopefully I didn't offend anyone. Let me know in the comments below. But again, I'm a bit biased, so there's that. Now, one of the biggest cons of living in San Diego is gonna be the cost of living, obviously. Now, with any big city like San Diego, Los Angeles, and New York City even, you're gonna have a higher cost of living than the average city or town in the rest of the country. But just to give you some more context, if you do a quick little Google search of the cost of living in the country, you'll find that San Diego is number 9 on the list. So it's pretty high up there. However, Los Angeles is above us in number 7 or 6 location. I kind of forget. But, you know, again, living in a city like this, that's a little bit pricier and costs more to live here. You're gonna get more things, more amenities to have. Like you got the beach nearby, mountains nearby as well if you like to snowboard and stuff like that. So it's kind of a trade-off for cost of living and quality of life. Just for some more context for you, the average single family home price here in San Diego is about $900,000 as of March 2023. If you're kind of curious what it was last year during the COVID or last few years during the COVID boom, the average home price here was about $1 million. So it has gone down, which is good. We definitely needed that. But keep that in mind. One big thing that's a bit of a difference between San Diego and Los Angeles is, from what I hear, the Los Angeles nightlife and bars and clubs down over there are a lot better, a lot bigger of a scene than we have here in San Diego. Now, I have gone to quite a bit of nightlife and clubs here in San Diego, and I still have not seen everything. So it's still quite a bit here. But if you're into more of the, if you go out all the time, maybe you're getting bored of the San Diego area, Los Angeles might have more of a selection for you. Alrighty, enough of San Diego. Let's get into the pros of living in Los Angeles. So Los Angeles, of course, you probably know, is a bustling city. They have tons of amenities there and tons of stuff that you can do for hiring, activities, and entrepreneurs is a big thing there as well. They have world-class museums, lots of attractions, and parks like Disneyland, Hollywood is there, or not Hollywood, Universal Studios is there. I'm sure they have a lot more stuff there as well, but they have some really big attractions that attract tons of tourists there. Keep that in mind too. If you're not a fan of tourists, LA gets a lot of tourist activity, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your personal preferences. Additionally, one huge diversity about Los Angeles between that and San Diego is the job market. LA has a much bigger job market than San Diego. As you probably know, some of the biggest industries that are there in LA is going to be Hollywood, obviously, the film and entertainment industry. You got the fashion industry, which is also huge over there as well. And believe it or not, one of the other biggest industry hires over there is going to be the aerospace industry. You got SpaceX, Boeing is over there, Lockheed Martin too. So they do a lot of hiring over there, which is pretty surprising because LA is such a condensed area, dense city, but they do have those big companies there making tons of money and helping out tons of people get jobs there in LA. Now again, from what I hear, LA is a lot more of a vibrant and bigger, more broad spectrum for nightlife and bars and stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of stuff, they really value that, LA would be the best place for you. All right, what are the cons of Los Angeles? So in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, since it's a lot bigger city of an area than San Diego, you're gonna get a lot more traffic there. Every time I've gone through LA, I've gone there to visit, I always seem to get stuck in traffic for like an hour, sometimes even 2 hours, depending on what's going on and where I'm at, what time of day too. I've never had that experience in San Diego, which I value that quite a bit. My time is, I feel like it's important and probably important to you too. But LA traffic is insane. I know friends over there that don't even go leave the house up to a certain time of the day just to avoid that. And I can't really imagine living like that. But again, if you don't mind that because your job is there, you got some other attraction that you like in LA, to each their own, you know. One big thing too about LA, obviously, is the cost of living. Very similar to San Diego. It's not much of a difference, like I mentioned earlier, on the list of top most expensive countries in the U.S. Cities in the U.S. LA is only 2 spots above San Diego, so not that big of a difference. So at that point, you really got to figure out what is better for you as far as location goes. And one cool thing about LA is that it's only about 2 or 3 hours from San Diego, depending what part of San Diego you're going to, what part of LA you're going to. So if you want to really dive deep into what's best for you, you could even just take a little short drive to LA, spend a few days there, maybe a weekend there. Same go to San Diego, spend a weekend there as well. And just that way you can kind of get a good idea of what you might like better, what place is better for you and your family, if you have one, and then go from there. Hopefully that helps you make a better decision, the best decision for you moving forward. So there you have it. Living in San Diego versus Los Angeles, there's a lot of pros and cons to each place, and they are kind of similar since they are so close to each other, and they're both bigger cities that are close to the beach. If you are looking to move to San Diego, or maybe you're thinking about finding a place that's better for you and your family here in the area, I'm always available. You can reach me through call, text, or email, days, nights, and weekends. We got your back when you're moving to San Diego, so reach out. I'll see you next time.